The glittering world of British cinema between the 1960s and 1990s hid deeply guarded secrets. Behind the dazzling smiles, some adored leading ladies made unimaginable choices. To secure exclusive designer wardrobes and lavish city apartments, these stars entered a hidden world of highly private arrangements with wealthy patrons, exchanging romantic company for pure luxury. What drove these 10 talented women into such gilded cages? Before we reveal these dramatic destinies, please subscribe to our channel and tell us in the comments which secret shocked you the most. Christine Keeler, the glittering facade of swinging London in the early 1960s, masked a labyrinth of whispered secrets and shadowed encounters. At the very heart of this intoxicating web stood a woman whose breathtaking beauty became both her greatest weapon and her ultimate downfall. She arrived in the capital with little more than raw ambition and a burning desire to escape the crushing poverty of her youth. The dazzling lights of the West End promised a life of unparalleled glamour and privilege. Finding her way into the most exclusive social circles, she quickly realized that a modest entertainment income could never fund the opulent lifestyle she so desperately craved. It was during this vulnerable period that she was introduced to a sophisticated society osteopath who recognized her unique appeal. He offered her a stunning apartment in the heart of the city, introducing her to a hidden world where wealthy aristocrats and powerful politicians sought highly discreet companionship. In exchange for her time and affection, she found herself showered with the finest imported garments, expensive jewelry, and access to the most elite private clubs. For a fleeting moment, she lived the absolute dream, transforming from a provincial girl into an elegant socialite wrapped in pure silk and cashmere. Her benefactors were men of immense wealth and influence who gladly provided the luxury she desired, asking only for her charming presence and absolute discretion in return. However, the delicate balance of this hidden arrangement soon began to unravel when her affections became entangled with figures from opposing sides of a tense global conflict. The very connections that had secured her luxurious city residence and designer wardrobe suddenly transformed into a spectacular national crisis. Whispers of her private engagements reached the merciless press, turning her private pursuit of comfort into the most devastating political scandal of the 20th century. Overnight, the elegant dresses and the exclusive address could no longer shield her from the brutal judgment of the public eye. The establishment that had once discreetly funded her lavish existence completely turned against her, stripping away the glamorous illusion she had so carefully constructed. The tragic reality was that the imported clothes and the beautiful apartment were merely temporary gifts, easily revoked when her powerful patrons needed to protect their own esteemed reputations. Ultimately, she was left to face the crushing consequences of a society that consumed her youth and beauty before ruthlessly casting her aside. Her promising career in the spotlight was forever overshadowed by the infamous events of 1963. The luxurious lifestyle she had sacrificed so much to attain vanished like a mirage, leaving behind a poignant cautionary tale about the true cost of exchanging genuine freedom for the glittering yet hollow promises of the wealthy elite. Mandy Rice Davies. Stepping onto the vibrant streets of the capital as a mere teenager, this spirited performer refused to accept a life of mundane obscurity. While other aspiring actresses waited endlessly for their big break in drafty theatres, she recognized that her radiant charm could unlock doors far faster than any casting director. The grey, austere backdrop of her early years was swiftly replaced by the blinding flash of paparazzi cameras and the intoxicating scent of expensive French perfume. She gravitated towards the most exclusive venues of the era, places where champagne flowed like water and influential men sought the company of dazzling young starlets. Her acting ambitions soon intertwined with a highly lucrative social strategy. Rather than surviving on the meager wages of a struggling artist, she aligned herself with wealthy aristocratic figures who were more than willing to sponsor her extravagant tastes. A luxurious townhouse became her magnificent new stage. This hidden arrangement provided her with a lifestyle that rivaled the most successful leading ladies of the silver screen. Her wardrobe bulged with imported Italian silks and exquisite tailored coats, gifts from powerful gentlemen who appreciated her vibrant wit and undeniable beauty. In this gilded environment, she provided charming companionship and delightful conversation, receiving in return the financial security and opulent surroundings she had boldly decided she absolutely deserved. However, the glittering bubble she inhabited was perilously fragile. When a massive national controversy erupted during the early 1960s, her private life was thrust into the unforgiving glare of courtroom lights and newspaper front pages. Unlike others who crumbled under the immense pressure, she faced the intense public scrutiny with a legendary defiance. Yet the revelation of her private financial arrangements with elite figures forever altered her professional trajectory. Directors and producers became incredibly wary of casting a woman whose real-life drama completely overshadowed her on-screen potential. The mainstream film industry quietly closed its doors, forcing her to seek opportunities far away from the traditional British stage. The magnificent central apartments and the endless racks of imported fashion could not buy her the genuine artistic respect she had originally sought when she first arrived in the city with stars in her bright eyes. She eventually reinvented herself overseas, building a completely new life away from the heavy shadows of her youth. Yet her story remains a fascinating testament to a time when ambitious young women felt compelled to trade their romantic company for a slice of high society glamour. She secured the luxurious dresses and the grand lifestyle, but the ultimate price was her credibility as a serious performer in an industry that was always quick to exploit and even quicker to judge. Mariella Novotny, the shimmering theatrical world of London, often concealed a far more complex reality for those who danced on the fringes of major stardom. Born with an exotic allure that instantly captivated audiences, she found herself navigating a precarious path between legitimate performance and the shadowy realm of elite patronage. While she possessed undeniable stage presence, the conventional wages of a working dancer could barely cover the cost of basic necessities, let alone the absolute glamour she desired. She possessed an innate understanding of power dynamics and quickly realized that her striking appearance was a highly valuable currency in the right circles. Bypassing the grueling audition circuits, she seamlessly integrated herself into the most opulent salons of the 1960s. Here, wealthy industrialists and influential political figures sought an escape from their rigid public lives. She offered them enchanting evenings filled with sophisticated charm and highly discreet romantic company. In return for her dedicated companionship, she was granted access to an unimaginably lavish existence that most ordinary women could only dream of. The modest theatrical digs were swiftly abandoned for a breathtaking residence situated in a highly desirable central postcode. Her closets overflowed with the finest imported furs, exquisite Parisian dresses, and bespoke leather goods. To the outside observer, she was a wildly successful performer, but her true income flowed entirely from a hidden network. She became a legendary hostess, organizing exclusive and deeply private gatherings where the wealthiest men in the nation could relax without fear of public scrutiny. Her luxurious apartment served as a gilded sanctuary where fortunes were subtly exchanged for her captivating presence and absolute silence. She wore her imported jewels like shining armor, believing that the immense wealth of her benefactors would forever shield her from the harsh realities and judgments of the ordinary outside world. However, the intoxicating heights of such a secretive lifestyle carried enormous risks that eventually demanded a heavy toll. As the political climate shifted and investigations into high society morality began to dominate the daily press, her powerful protectors quietly vanished into the shadows. The very men who had furnished her glorious apartment and provided her with endless designer garments immediately distanced themselves, terrified that her associations would completely destroy their careers. Stripped of her wealthy sponsors, the glorious illusion she had maintained began to crumble with terrifying speed. Without the steady flow of elite patronage, maintaining the lavish city property and the magnificent wardrobe became completely impossible. Her tragic passing in the early 1980s marked the end of a turbulent journey. She remains a haunting reminder of a talented woman who sought the ultimate luxury, only to discover that such glittering arrangements offer no lasting security. Norma Levy. The shifting cultural landscape of the 1970s brought a new wave of ambition to the heart of the capital. Born into modest surroundings, she harbored an intense yearning for the dazzling lights and sophisticated allure of high society. While traditional acting roles offered a slow and uncertain path to success, she quickly perceived that a different kind of performance could yield immediate and spectacular rewards. The ordinary world simply could not contain her immense appetite for luxury. Navigating the exclusive social circuits of the city, she cultivated an aura of mystery and elegance that instantly drew the attention of the ruling classes. It did not take long for influential figures to offer her a shortcut to the glamorous life she so fiercely desired. A breathtaking apartment in an elite neighborhood became her new domain, serving as a private sanctuary where the most powerful men in the government could escape the relentless pressures of their high-profile public duties. In this highly secretive environment, she established incredibly lucrative arrangements with aristocrats and prominent politicians. Her absolute discretion was generously rewarded with a breathtaking array of imported designer clothing, expensive perfumes, and fine jewelry. Instead of waiting for a breakthrough role on the silver screen, she played the consummate hostess in real life, providing enchanting company and charming conversation to gentlemen who gladly funded her extravagant daily existence. Surrounded by exquisite Italian leather and fine French silk, she lived a life that rivaled the most celebrated leading ladies of her generation. Her benefactors believed their immense wealth and political power could keep their clandestine visits permanently hidden from the public eye. For a significant period, she enjoyed the absolute pinnacle of comfort, shielded by a glittering fortress of elite privilege. She truly believed that her luxurious central residence was a permanent, untouchable haven. However, the formidable walls of this secret world shattered spectacularly during the early months of 1973. Relentless investigative journalists uncovered the hidden connections between her luxurious lifestyle and the government officials who secretly financed it. The sudden exposure sent shockwaves through the entire nation, transforming her private arrangements into a monumental public scandal. The powerful men who had showered her with imported gifts immediately fled in sheer panic. In the devastating aftermath, the glittering mirage of her high society existence evaporated almost instantly. The luxurious apartment that had once been a symbol of her triumph quickly became the epicenter of a brutal media storm, forcing her to flee the country to escape the intense scrutiny. The incredible wardrobe and the affluent lifestyle were ultimately lost, leaving behind a profound tragedy about a woman who traded genuine independence for the fleeting, dangerous comforts of the wealthy elite. Mary Millington, a true icon of the 1970s British alternative cinema, she possessed a captivating magnetism that drew both captivated audiences and extremely powerful men. Despite her rising success on the silver screen and widespread public recognition, the actual financial rewards of her acting career were surprisingly modest and inconsistent. Driven by a fierce, unrelenting determination to acquire the finer things in life, she looked far beyond the dusty film sets. She desired the ultimate luxury that only the highest echelons of society could provide. refusing to settle for the ordinary struggles of a working actress. Recognizing the immense value of her growing fame, she seamlessly transitioned into a highly exclusive world where her celebrity status became an incredibly prized commodity. Wealthy businessmen, affluent film producers, and prominent public figures were absolutely desperate to spend time with the nation's most talked-about starlet. She established deeply private, unspoken arrangements with these elite gentlemen, exchanging her enchanting romantic company for a lifestyle that completely eclipsed her legitimate theatrical earnings. She became the ultimate prize for men who could afford her time. A magnificent, sprawling residence in the very heart of the capital quickly replaced the humble, unassuming surroundings of her youth. Her extravagant benefactors ensured that her expansive wardrobes were constantly replenished with the finest imported furs, dazzling diamond necklaces, and exclusive Parisian couture dresses. In this magnificent gilded existence, she was treated like absolute royalty, surrounded by opulent antique furnishings and chauffeured in sleek, dark limousines. The wealthy elite gladly financed this breathtaking illusion of endless prosperity and high society glamour. Yet beneath the glittering, flawless surface of imported vintage champagne and bespoke designer garments, the immense psychological pressure of maintaining such a complicated dual life began to fracture her spirit. The powerful men who heavily funded her luxurious city residence were incredibly demanding, often treating her as a beautiful, purchased possession rather than a respected, independent artist. She found herself hopelessly trapped in a golden cage, entirely dependent on the continuous approval and financial generosity of her elite patrons to sustain her extravagant new habits. As the turbulent decade finally drew to a close in 1979, the crushing weight of her deeply hidden lifestyle and severe government financial investigations became utterly unbearable. The glamorous, carefully constructed facade finally shattered, revealing the profound hidden despair of a talented woman who had sacrificed her emotional well-being for pure material wealth. Her heartbreaking and deeply premature passing serves as a stark, tragic reminder of the devastating toll extracted by a ruthless society that happily trades youthful beauty for cold, imported luxury. Pamela Bordes, the vibrant social scene of the late 1980s, was a playground of excessive indulgence, driven by the sudden explosion of immense corporate wealth. Into this glittering arena stepped a woman of breathtaking international beauty, determined to conquer the highest echelons of the British establishment. While she dabbled in modeling and occasional acting, she quickly perceived that the slow grind of auditions would never satisfy her immense craving for absolute luxury and social standing. Blessed with magnetic charm and an innate ability to captivate powerful men, she elegantly bypassed the traditional routes to theatrical success. She immersed herself in a highly exclusive universe where billionaire businessmen and prominent media executives gathered away from the public eye. To these affluent figures, her radiant presence was the ultimate prize. In return for her highly discreet romantic companionship, she was granted access to a spectacular lifestyle that defied imagination. A magnificent central apartment, located just a short distance from the historic corridors of government power, became her luxurious new sanctuary. Her generous benefactors spared absolutely no expense, ensuring her pristine wardrobes overflowed with the most expensive imported silks, rare Parisian designer gowns, and breathtaking jewels. She moved seamlessly between exclusive members' clubs and private aviation, enjoying the absolute pinnacle of privilege without ever needing a major starring role. Her powerful connections eventually secured her unprecedented access to the very heart of the national parliament, a profound testament to the staggering influence of her wealthy protectors. She became a prominent fixture at elite social gatherings, radiating a dazzling aura of untouchable glamour. The influential men who heavily funded her extravagant existence firmly believed their vast fortunes could keep their deeply private arrangements permanently concealed from any unwanted public scrutiny. However, the spectacular illusion finally shattered with devastating force during the early months of 1989. Relentless investigative journalists mercilessly exposed the stark reality behind her immense wealth, revealing that her glamorous lifestyle was entirely funded by clandestine meetings with incredibly wealthy patrons. The shocking revelation that a woman with such private arrangements held prestigious parliamentary access created a monumental crisis for the ruling government. The very individuals who had happily showered her with imported luxury and provided her magnificent city residence instantly vanished, desperately scrambling to protect their own prestigious careers from the blazing media firestorm. Stripped of her powerful protectors, she was ruthlessly forced to abandon the spectacular life she had constructed. The dramatic consequence of her immense ambition was absolute public exile, proving that the glittering promises of the elite are fragile and fleeting. Lindy St. Clair. Arriving in the bustling metropolis with a theatrical flair and a sharp mind, she quickly realized that conventional performing arts offered limited financial rewards. She possessed a magnetic personality and a dramatic presence that deserved a far grander stage than a provincial theatre could ever provide. Determined to escape her modest beginnings, she carefully crafted a persona of absolute aristocratic elegance, transforming herself into a highly sought-after figure in elite social circles. Recognizing that her immense charm was her most valuable asset, she seamlessly transitioned into the secretive world of exclusive high society companionship. Rather than struggling for minor television roles, she became the ultimate confidant for immensely wealthy gentlemen who desired sophisticated romantic company. Her influential benefactors were absolutely mesmerized by her glamorous facade, willingly providing the immense financial support she needed to maintain her extravagant new lifestyle. The modest living arrangements of her early career were swiftly replaced by a magnificent, sprawling mansion situated in a highly desirable western district of the capital. Her generous patrons ensured that her vast wardrobes were constantly overflowing with breathtaking imported garments, rare silks, and magnificent tailored coats. She lived in a state of continuous luxury, completely shielded from the harsh realities of ordinary life by a glittering fortress of extreme wealth and privilege. She operated her lavish central residence as a deeply private sanctuary, a magnificent gilded palace where the most powerful politicians and industry leaders could escape their demanding public lives. In exchange for her charming presence and absolute discretion, she received breathtaking gifts and limitless funds. She reveled in her magnificent surroundings, confidently believing that her influential connections would forever protect her from the judgmental gaze of the conventional outside world. However, the magnificent illusion began to unravel spectacularly as the 1980s drew to a close. Relentless government financial investigators began to scrutinize the immense, unexplained wealth that funded her luxurious central mansion and her endless array of imported designer dresses. The powerful men who had happily showered her with expensive gifts immediately retreated into the shadows, absolutely terrified that their clandestine arrangements would be exposed to the national press. Faced with astronomical financial demands from the state, she was mercilessly forced to abandon the spectacular central property she had so lovingly decorated. Stripped of her wealthy protectors and her magnificent imported wardrobe, the glamorous high society existence she had carefully built completely collapsed. Her dramatic rise and subsequent fall remain a powerful cautionary reminder of the fleeting nature of luxury when it is entirely dependent on the fragile promises of the ruling elite. Fiona Richmond. The intoxicating atmosphere of theatrical success in the 1970s often demanded quiet compromises that the adoring public never witnessed. Beginning her ambitious journey in the highly competitive world of provincial entertainment, she possessed an audacious spirit that completely refused to be confined by modest wages and ordinary living conditions. She hungered fiercely for a life of unbridled luxury, quickly realizing that her magnetic stage presence could captivate wealthy magnates. Rather than enduring the traditional exhausting struggles of an aspiring performer, she strategically aligned herself with a phenomenally wealthy property and publishing baron. This influential and powerful figure was utterly captivated by her radiant energy, offering her a dazzling escape from the threat of theatrical poverty. She willingly entered into a highly exclusive, unspoken agreement, exchanging her continuous romantic companionship for a level of spectacular, unprecedented opulence. The modest and drafty dressing rooms of her early career were instantly replaced by a magnificent, sprawling penthouse apartment overlooking the glittering skyline of the capital city. Her immensely wealthy patron took absolute delight in spoiling her, filling her extensive wardrobes with the most exclusive imported French silks, dazzling diamond jewelry, and bespoke Italian leather garments. She became the ultimate symbol of high society glamour, driving breathtakingly expensive sports cars. While she continued to perform under the bright lights of the stage and screen, her true source of immense wealth flowed entirely from this highly private, deeply gilded arrangement. She lived out a spectacular, endless fantasy, surrounded by pure indulgence and completely shielded from everyday financial anxiety by the vast fortunes of her powerful benefactor. To the outside world, she was a wildly successful actress, but her magnificent city residence was a direct reward for her devotion. Yet existing primarily as the beautiful, prized possession of a controlling tycoon carried a profound emotional cost that imported luxury and vintage champagne could never truly soothe. As the 1970s eventually drew to a close, the intense psychological pressures of maintaining this lavish, highly dependent lifestyle began to take a heavy toll on her personal freedom. The magnificent penthouse, with all its expensive imported furnishings, eventually felt like a beautiful golden cage. When the secretive, heavily funded arrangement inevitably concluded, she was forced to entirely rebuild her life far away from the intoxicating, blinding wealth she had grown so accustomed to. The astonishing designer wardrobe and the breathtaking central apartment were ultimately left behind, serving as a highly poignant reminder of a time when she traded her authentic independence. Her incredible journey remains a fascinating testament to performers who sought ultimate luxury at a heavy price. Janie Jones, the vibrant pop music scene of the 1960s, offered a glittering promise of eternal fame, but the reality was often a brutal struggle for absolute survival. Beginning her career as a charismatic singer and occasional television performer, she quickly realized that the erratic royalties of a minor artist would never sustain her immense appetite for grand luxury. The ordinary path of a struggling musician felt terribly suffocating for a woman who dreamt of imported diamonds and pure silk. Blessed with a captivating, bold personality, she decided to orchestrate her own spectacular rise to immense wealth by pivoting away from the traditional recording studio. She cultivated an extraordinary, highly exclusive network of wealthy aristocrats, powerful broadcasting executives, and influential international diplomats. Recognizing that these affluent gentlemen desperately craved discreet romantic companionship, she transformed herself into the ultimate glamorous hostess for the elite. The modest wages of a cabaret performer were instantly replaced by a staggering influx of immense wealth, allowing her to secure a magnificent, sprawling residence in the very heart of the capital. Her extravagant benefactors happily ensured her endless wardrobes were packed with rare imported furs, exquisite Parisian gowns, and stunning bespoke jewelry. She lived like an absolute queen, hosting breathtakingly lavish private gatherings where vast fortunes were exchanged for absolute discretion. In this highly secretive, gilded environment, she held incredible influence over the powerful men who eagerly funded her spectacular metropolitan lifestyle. She firmly believed that her intimate knowledge of their clandestine activities would serve as an impenetrable fortress, forever protecting her magnificent city apartments and luxurious imported vehicles. For a prolonged period, she truly ruled this shadow society, enjoying the absolute pinnacle of material comfort and untouchable privilege. However, the magnificent empire she had constructed upon whispered secrets and elite patronage collapsed with a resounding crash during the early 1970s. Relentless police investigations finally pierced the glittering veil of her exclusive society gatherings, exposing the stark reality of how her breathtaking lifestyle was truly funded. The very broadcasting executives and politicians who had showered her with incredible riches instantly abandoned her to the merciless national press. Stripped entirely of her powerful protectors, she faced the devastating consequences of trading in the dangerous currency of elite secrets and romantic companionship. The magnificent central properties and the staggering collection of imported designer fashion were entirely overshadowed by a severe, highly publicized custodial sentence. Her dramatic descent from the dazzling heights of high society glamour remains a chilling reminder of the brutal, unforgiving nature of the wealthy establishment.